What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, some random guy on the internet claims that he leaked information for Diablo 2 Remastered, which is destined to be called Diablo 2 Resurrected. He claims that this shit is supposed to come out later this year in 2020. Maybe announced at some summer gaming convention or at BlizzCon 2020 even. Who knows? What do you guys think? Have you guys heard about this shit? There's a couple articles written about it already. I mean, what? It might be true. Some random guy on the internet said Diablo 2 Remastered might be coming out at the end of this year. By Vicarious Studios, who is this company that, or at least the game is going to be announced later this year, right? But I think they claimed that they found data mined information about how it is expected to release this year. But nonetheless, Vicarious Studios is this gaming company that remade the Crash Bandicoot trilogy as of the last couple of years, or whenever that came out. So I don't know how well they remade that game, and I don't know if that's generally how it goes, where you have another company remaster your game. You know, this is another example of Blizzard using a third-party developer. The fuck? But maybe that's common, I don't know. Maybe that's common for remasters, is it? Of course, a lot of people are bitching about Warcraft 3 Reforged. They say the game fucking sucks. They say they took out all sorts of competitive aspects from the gameplay. And they say that the remaster just fucking sucks. Alright, that's basically what a lot of folks have said. But I mean, I haven't played that shit, so I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that's objective, you know what I mean? Does the game objectively fucking suck? If you guys have any insight on this, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, a Diablo 2 Remastered is something that us toads have been talking about for some time. So, Daddy, of course, is kind of optimistic, and I'd be up for trying it. And as long as they let us play the remaster... Ooh, shit, look at this. It's better than mine. Classic right here, dog. Mana per kill. But anyway, yeah, my take is that I'd be told to try it out, right? As long as they don't, like, disable Diablo 2. That would be lame as a duck, right? Like, we want to still have the option to play Diablo 2 like this, or modded versions of Diablo 2 like Path of Diablo, which is what this is. If the remaster is dumb as fuck. So as long as that stipulation is intact, I'm down with it. But let me know if you guys have any idea of how that generally goes. Do you think if a remaster is made?
Damn! Alright, Nemru! Fuck that shit!
Yeah, I'm gonna make a Lawbringer with that shit!
Yes!
That'll be absolute toad to make Lawbringer with that. Should I slam this? Should I slam this? No, fuck it, I'm gonna slam the armor.
Fuck this shit!
I'm gonna slam that armor. I was gonna make a video dedicated to this, but I don't give a fuck. Oh, okay, nothing happened. Damn! Could have been worse. But yeah, I mean, as long as they let us play, you know, the regular version of Diablo 2, they better not fuck that shit up. A lot of people have doubts that the remaster is going to be alright. Like, there's a lot of basic mechanics in Diablo 2 that might go missing in a remaster. I've heard people say something along the lines of how Diablo 2 was designed in a way where it's a tile-based game. Like, it's very staticky or some shit. Like, there's... You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of ones and zeros and shit. Or that's probably how it always is. But nonetheless, they say it's a tile-based game. Whatever the fuck that means, alright? And I think it has something to do with how there are all these little breakpoints and shit. Like with attack speed and with the hidden miss opportunities and all sorts of weird fucked up shit that make this game absolute toad. Alright? I mean, yeah, somebody can explain that better, you know? In the comments below, what does it mean that this game is like a tile-based game in terms of its basic mechanics? I don't know what that fuck that means, to be honest with you guys, but I think it means something toad. Like that's what makes this game toad. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've read on the internet from some random people that the original source code to this game has been lost. So when it comes to those minuscule details in its mechanics, there's no resurrecting that basic shit. Maybe that has something to do with why they called it Diablo 2 Resurrection. Because this third-party developer is somehow like diagnosing the embedded mechanics, and they're figuring all that shit out from the bottom up. But I have no idea, man. But yeah, a lot of folks have their doubts, of course. You know, they better keep this game told like it is. Like, there's a lot of little things that one could go on about as to why Diablo 2 is a great game, right? And the choices that we have to make, and how you can't always just respec your character. Just little tiny things that make it toad. The rarity of items. You know, it's not like Diablo 3 where you're just given the sets. You're given all the endgame items within a few hours of gameplay. And then the only thing that changes beyond that are just the little numbers shooting above your character's head as to whether or not he's in a higher level tier or rift or not. Just the little numbers are the only thing that change. It's not like Diablo 2 where you could play a whole season, a whole 6 months, and you won't even find a burr rune to make their infinity that gives you the conviction aura. So you can break immunities, specifically lightning immune monsters, where then you can finally use your lightning-based character to kill lightning immune monsters. And the immunities in general, they took that shit away from Diablo 3, and I thought that was fucking bullshit. And if you disagree with me, man, your opinion's bullshit. Like, really, the immunities are important, you know, and then you have to be strategic. You can't just be any kind of character and just defeat any kind of enemy without any barriers. You know, you have to make executive decisions, you know what I mean? You have to be like, well, hold on, I can't be entirely cold-based because there's all these cold immunes when I finally get to hell. I'm going to have to find a healthy medium in terms of making a hybrid build. It's not like Diablo 3 where it doesn't even matter. Your weapon does poison, does lightning, it doesn't even matter. All the fucking shit just blends into the same thing. You know, you don't even have to pay attention to your bases, unless if you just want the numbers to be a little bigger. That's the only reason you have to pay attention. You can find items that enhance your lightning damage by 20%, and then you can shoot higher numbers above the enemy's heads when you're killing them. And that's the only difference. But there aren't game-changing items and rarity. Like, you can get a job in a burr room to make an enigma in Diablo 2. It could take you an entire ladder to find those runes. Then all of a sudden your character can now teleport. You know, toad shit like that. And that's just the beginning. That's just the crust of what makes Diablo 2 an epic game. And how you're not given all the points required to max all your skills. You have to make those decisions. You only have a limited amount of points that you can garnish. So you have to be wise and practical with your decision making there. And there's dueling, of course, and it's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up because you do just basically all your damage that you can do to monsters, you can do to other players. And it is diminished to some percentage point, and I don't know what that is. But nonetheless, there's not all sorts of weird balancing shit that goes on in the dueling. It's just anything goes, man, and you can fuck shit up. You can make characters that are tweaked out and, designed to just destroy other players in specific builds, where it's almost unfair. Well, that's part of what makes Diablo 2 unique, is you go into it knowing that there's some fucked up shit that's going to happen. You know, there's shit that ain't fair. And that's just how it is, dog. You know, and sometimes you got to make a character to run certain areas and regions. You got to have special builds that can run the Ubers, and not any character can run the Ubers. It's not like Diablo 3 where they thought, let's put the Uber event in here, and none of them are immune to anything, and any fucking character build can just run these guys and face roll them. And then they can collect a special gift from them. That's not how Diablo 2 is. You know, you have to have a few key builds that you have to make dedicated to run the endgame Ubers to get the special Hellfire Torch and the Annihilus Small Charm, or however the fuck you say it. You know, so there's a lot of small things that make Diablo 2 absolute toad. But let me know what you guys think, if this Diablo Resurrected thing is a good idea. You know, should Diablo 2 be remastered? And are you optimistic about it? Or do you just straight up think it's gonna fucking suck? You know, I don't blame you guys for thinking that, because that's where a lot of folks are. And I have my doubts as well. I mean, when was the last time a good game was made anywhere? They're just all made to cater to the masses, and they're super simplified. You know, and I sometimes I give into it. Like, for a while I played Diablo 3 trying to trick myself into thinking that it was a good game. And I was just a fucking dumbass, to be honest with you guys, because that's all I really had to hang on to. I was like, I have to enjoy this game, because if I don't, that's it. There's no other games for me to enjoy, because I'm such a diehard Diablo fan. But Diablo 3 fucking sucks. And then later I found out people are still playing Diablo 2. I didn't even know that was going on. So I was like, damn, alright, I'm going to jump on Diablo 2. And I haven't been back to Diablo 3 since. And it's been absolute toad. It's everything I expected to be and more. Especially with this Diablo 2 Path of Diablo mod. But nonetheless, it's happened with a lot of games. And Skyrim as well is simplified as fuck. The game came out, you know, I thought it was going to be an epic experience. And a lot of people say that it is, but there's all sorts of exploits you can find that were never fixed as far as I know. And even if they were, it doesn't matter. You basically become the jack of all trades with all these games. You can be, your character is anything and everything. And there's not specific builds you have to really hone in on. Just any character can run any of the content just as easily as any other. And they're all archers and mages and warriors all in one. It's fucking bullshit. You know, that's not how the old Elder Scrolls games were, as far as I understand it. So, yeah, shit's just been so fucking simplified. You know, like Diablo 3, how they took away even stat points. You know, who the fuck takes away stat points? Why would you take this shit away? Where we can't customize. They do it because they want babies to play as well. And they don't want the baby to find a sword that it can't put on. It's like, why can't I put on this sword? The big boys are wearing the swords, why can't I? I'm just going to quit now. And I'm not going to ever ask my mommy to buy this game for me again. You know, it seems that that's Blizzard's concern, is they don't want to run into that barrier. So they're like, okay, so that the babies don't run into these customizable issues that the big boys run into, but the big boys appreciate it because it allows for more versatility in your gameplay and strategy and shit like that. Let's just take away the stat points. That sounds like a great idea. You know, hopefully they don't do that, because that's exactly what happened with Diablo 3, and that's just one of the many things that made that game fucking suck. And all of your damage is entirely based on your weapon. They're like, okay, so we don't want to make it too confusing for the babies. You know, we don't want to have them deal with skills and stuff and level up their skills so that they do more damage than others. We don't want to have little synergies and stuff. That's just too confusing. You know, they're going to have to think. They're going to have to use just a little bit of math. Even though we almost give them the fucking numbers up in their face anyway, what the difference is going to be if they add the synergy to rabies. It's not that hard, but we don't want to confuse them. You know, we don't want to give them many choices, because with choices comes difficult times. So let's just not give them any fucking choice. Let's just screw that whole system, and let's just say that all their damage is based on whatever the fuck they pick up and equip in their main hand. And to make it even more simple for the babies, let's make sure that all the characters can wield all the weapons. You know, no longer can only the barbarian wield a big-ass two-handed sword in one hand. You know, no longer can only the wizard use a fucking wand. Let's just let any character use whatever the fuck they want in their hand. And that's what all their damage is going to be based off of. You know, just little things like that really fucked up Diablo 3. And hopefully they do away with all that ridiculous nonsense of taking everything away for this Diablo 2 remaster, right?
Yeah, so let me know in the comments below if you guys are with me on that.
But do you want a remaster of Diablo 2? And if so, how do you want it to be made? You want it to be exactly like this? Maybe some added content? Imagine if they remastered it and gave you like an X6 Or at least end-game content, like Path of Diablo. It better have shit like this. That's my opinion anyway. I hope that it lets you slam items like Path of Diablo with the Orbs of Corruption. And I hope that it has endgame content where you can run the tier maps like in this game, in Path of Diablo. So you can challenge your characters to a greater extent than when you can even in regular Diablo 2. So here now is Diablo in hardcore with my druid. This rabies isn't doing much to him. I'm about to try to murder him. And then I can finally start playing some Act 5 and make some videos on that. Fuck. Yeah, this is time consuming. Holy shit. Fortunately, the grizzly bear's kind of thick. But yeah, let me know, are you guys going to buy Diablo 2 Resurrected? Do you think this is real news or is this fake news? Like I said, it was just... This shit all has come out over the past day or two. This speculation of these supposed leaks of a Diablo 2 Resurrected that is currently in the works. Holy shit! Ooh, health pots. Oh, my weapon broke! Not that it really matters. I'm mostly poison damage. Yes! Oh, what a bunch of bullshit! Alright, but nonetheless, if you guys will, like the video, hit the thumbs up button, let me know your thoughts on these matters. Peace be with you, and thank you to my patrons. And if you want to become a patron, click the link in the description below. Peace be with you.